Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges, change, and moments beyond our control. Yet, as the Stoics teach, true peace is not found in shaping the world to our desires, but in mastering ourselves. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance serve as our guiding virtues, leading us toward a life of resilience and purpose. We suffer not because of events, but because of our resistance to them. By embracing what we can control, accepting impermanence, and practicing gratitude, we free ourselves from unnecessary turmoil. Hardships become teachers, desires lose their hold, and each moment, no matter how fleeting, becomes an opportunity to grow. The question is not whether life will test us, but whether we will rise to meet it. Will we cling to what is temporary, or will we stand firm like an unshaken oak in the storm? The choice is always ours. Welcome to Wisdom Vault 365, where timeless Stoic wisdom meets daily life. If you seek strength, clarity, and inner peace, you're in the right place. 1. Embrace what you can control. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches a profound yet simple truth. We should focus only on what is within our control and let go of everything else. This principle, known as the dichotomy of control, reminds us that while we cannot dictate external events, we have full authority over our thoughts, actions, and responses. Imagine an archer preparing to shoot an arrow. He trains diligently, steadies his breath, and carefully aims at the target. But once the arrow leaves the bow, its fate is no longer in his hands. The wind may shift, the target may move, or unforeseen circumstances may alter its course. A wise archer accepts this reality. His responsibility ends the moment the arrow is released. Likewise, in life, we can do our best in any situation, but the final outcome is often beyond our reach. This mindset applies to everyday challenges. Suppose you are preparing for a job interview. You can study, practice, and present yourself well, but the decision to hire you is not entirely yours. If you tie your happiness to getting the job, you set yourself up for disappointment. Instead, true peace comes from knowing you gave your best effort, regardless of the result. By focusing on what we can control, our attitudes, our efforts, our reactions, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We become resilient in the face of setbacks and learn to navigate life with grace. Accepting uncertainty does not mean we stop striving. It means we act with wisdom, detached from rigid expectations. In doing so, we embrace a freedom that no external force can take away. 2. Practice mindfulness. The Stoic philosopher Seneca teaches that true peace comes from being fully present in the moment. Much of our anxiety arises from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, two things we cannot control. Mindfulness, then, is the key to maintaining clarity and composure in an uncertain world. Consider a traveler who constantly checks the map, fearing every possible wrong turn. In doing so, he misses the beauty of the journey itself, the changing landscape, the warmth of the sun, the simple joy of movement. Life is much the same. When we obsess over past regrets or future uncertainties, we lose sight of the richness of the present moment. Mindfulness is not just for extraordinary experiences. It is equally essential in mundane moments. Drinking a cup of tea, feeling the breeze on your face, or listening to a loved one speak. These small, fleeting moments shape the quality of our lives. By fully engaging in them, we cultivate gratitude and inner peace. Seneca reminds us that time is our most valuable possession. The past is gone and the future is uncertain, but the present is always within our reach. By embracing it with awareness and appreciation, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and find stability in the ever-changing flow of life. The power of acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, teaches that much of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. Life is unpredictable, ever-changing, and often indifferent to our desires. Yet, instead of fighting against reality, true strength lies in accepting it as it is. Imagine a river flowing steadily toward the sea. A person who fights the current, trying to swim upstream, will only exhaust themselves. But one who accepts the flow, adapting to its movement, finds peace and direction. Life is much the same. When we resist what is beyond our control, we create unnecessary suffering. But when we embrace reality, we move forward with grace. This does not mean passivity or surrender. Acceptance is not about giving up. It is about seeing clearly and responding wisely. If we lose a job, we can waste energy wishing things were different, or we can focus on our next opportunity. If plans fall apart, we can lament the change, or we can adapt and make the best of the moment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that nature operates by its own laws, indifferent to our preferences. Seasons change, people come and go, and circumstances shift beyond our command. But within this uncertainty lies our greatest freedom, the power to accept life as it unfolds. In doing so, we release unnecessary pain and discover a deep, unshakable peace. Choose your response. Life constantly presents us with challenges beyond our control, unexpected setbacks, difficult people, and changing circumstances. Yet, as the Stoics teach, we always have power over one thing: our response. No matter what happens, we can choose to react with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the four cardinal virtues that lead to inner peace. Imagine someone insults you. Your instinct might be to react with anger or defensiveness. But is that response aligned with wisdom? Will it serve you? Instead of letting emotions dictate your actions, you can pause, reflect, and respond with calmness. By choosing patience over rage, you maintain control over yourself rather than giving it away to another. This principle applies in all aspects of life. If you lose a job, you can sink into despair or view it as an opportunity to grow. If plans change unexpectedly, you can resist and feel frustrated, or you can adapt with grace. External events may shape your circumstances, but your mindset determines your experience of them. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By aligning our reactions with virtue, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and cultivate a deep sense of peace. Life is unpredictable, but our ability to choose our response remains constant. Limit. Excessive desires. Seneca warns that the endless pursuit of wealth, status, and possessions often leads not to happiness, but to discontent. The more we chase, the more we crave, always believing that just a little more will finally bring satisfaction. Yet, like a cup with a hole in the bottom, no amount of external success can fill an inner void. Imagine a man who constantly upgrades his possessions, always seeking a faster car, a bigger house, or the latest technology. Each new purchase brings temporary excitement, but soon, dissatisfaction creeps in, and he sets his sights on the next thing. Instead of feeling fulfilled, he remains trapped in a cycle of wanting. This is the danger of excessive desire. It creates a restless mind that is never at peace. True contentment comes not from having more, but from needing less. Moderation allows us to enjoy life's pleasures without being enslaved by them. A simple meal, a heartfelt conversation, or a quiet moment in nature can bring more joy than any luxury if we learn to appreciate them fully. Seneca reminds us that the key to happiness lies in shifting our focus from external accumulation to internal richness. By embracing simplicity and valuing what truly matters, wisdom, relationships, and self-mastery, we free ourselves from endless longing and discover lasting peace. 6. Commit to self-improvement. Epictetus teaches that growth is not a destination but a lifelong journey. Wisdom is not something we acquire once and for all. It is cultivated through continuous learning, reflection, and practice. The challenges we face are not obstacles. They are opportunities to refine our character and strengthen our resilience. Imagine a blacksmith forging a blade. The metal must endure fire and repeated hammering before it becomes strong and sharp. Likewise, every difficulty we encounter is a form of tempering, shaping us into stronger, wiser individuals. A setback at work, a personal failure, or an unexpected hardship, each moment of struggle presents a choice: to complain and retreat, or to learn and grow. True self-improvement requires discipline and humility. It means acknowledging our flaws without self-condemnation and striving for progress without arrogance. Instead of seeking comfort and ease, we should welcome challenges as tests of our patience, courage, and wisdom. Over time, these struggles refine us, making us more composed in the face of adversity. Epictetus reminds us that external circumstances are beyond our control, but our effort to improve is always within our power. By committing to lifelong learning and self-mastery, we cultivate the resilience needed to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and strength. 7. Cultivate resilience. Adversity is not an enemy to be feared, but a teacher that shapes us. Life's hardships, like storms, are inevitable, but we have the power to stand firm, just as an oak remains unshaken even as the winds rage around it. True strength is not found in avoiding difficulties, but in facing them with courage and composure. Consider the story of a blade being forged. It must endure intense heat and hammering to become strong and sharp. Without this process, it remains weak and brittle. Likewise, every challenge we encounter, failure, loss, disappointment, tempers us, making us more resilient and prepared for future struggles. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that obstacles are not barriers, but opportunities. A setback at work, a betrayal by a friend, or an unexpected loss. Each hardship tests us, but it also offers a chance to cultivate patience, wisdom, and inner fortitude. The key is not to resist difficulty, but to embrace it as part of our growth. Resilience is built through practice. When life pushes us, we can choose to rise rather than break. By facing adversity with strength and resolve, we develop a character that no misfortune can shake. Hardships do not define us, our response to them does. 8. Live by Stoic virtues. The Stoics teach that a meaningful life is not determined by wealth, status, or comfort, but by the virtues we uphold. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance serve as our compass, guiding our actions and shaping our character. When we align our lives with these principles, we cultivate inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. Wisdom helps us see the world clearly, making decisions based on reason rather than impulse. It teaches us to differentiate between what we can and cannot control, freeing us from unnecessary worry. Courage allows us to face adversity with strength. Life is full of challenges, failure, loss, uncertainty, but fear should never dictate our choices. True bravery is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Justice reminds us to act fairly, treating others with honesty and integrity. It is the foundation of strong relationships and a well-ordered society. A just person does what is right, not what is easy or self-serving. Temperance teaches balance. Excessive desires, whether for pleasure, power, or material goods, lead to discontent. By practicing self-control, we find joy in simplicity and avoid being ruled by fleeting cravings. No matter how chaotic the world may seem, living by virtue provides stability. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you find something very difficult to achieve yourself, don't imagine it impossible. For anything possible and proper for another person can be achieved as easily by you." When we commit to virtue, we discover a deep, unshakable tranquility, the kind that no misfortune can take away. 9. Accept the transience of life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that everything in life is temporary. Our successes and failures, our joys and sorrows, even our very existence. Clinging to what must inevitably change leads only to suffering. Instead, by embracing impermanence, we learn to appreciate each moment fully, without fear of loss. Imagine holding sand in your hand. If you grip it tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, you can appreciate its presence before it naturally drifts away. Life is much the same. Relationships evolve, possessions fade, and even our bodies age. Resisting these natural cycles only creates unnecessary pain. This perspective does not mean we should detach from life or stop caring. It means we should love and appreciate without trying to control. Enjoy a beautiful sunset without mourning its end. Cherish time with loved ones without fearing their absence. Face challenges with the understanding that they too will pass. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "All things are ephemeral, both memory and the object of memory." By accepting this truth, we free ourselves from anxiety about the future and regret over the past. We learn to live fully in the present, finding peace in the ever-changing flow of life. Practice gratitude. Seneca teaches that much of our discontent comes not from what we lack, but from our failure to appreciate what we already have. The human mind tends to focus on what is missing, always chasing more wealth, more success, more recognition, believing that fulfillment lies just beyond our reach. But true contentment is found not in gaining more, but in recognizing the value of what is already present. Imagine two people experiencing the same event. One sees only what went wrong, while the other finds something to appreciate. A rainy day can be viewed as an inconvenience or as an opportunity to slow down and reflect. A simple meal can be seen as inadequate or as nourishment to be grateful for. The circumstances remain the same, but the mindset changes everything. Gratitude is especially powerful in hardship. Even in difficult times, there is always something to appreciate. Lessons learned, moments of kindness, or even the strength to endure. Seneca reminds us, "No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity." Challenges can serve as a reminder of the resilience we possess and the blessings we often overlook. By shifting our focus from what is missing to what is present, we cultivate inner peace. Gratitude is not just a reaction to good fortune. It is a way of seeing the world. When we embrace it, we free ourselves from endless longing and find contentment in the life we already have. Final thoughts. The wisdom of the Stoics reminds us that true peace comes from within. By focusing on what we can control, practicing gratitude, living with virtue, and embracing life's impermanence, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and cultivate resilience. Hardships, change, and uncertainty are inevitable, but how we respond is always in our hands. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. The path to a meaningful life isn't about chasing more, but about appreciating what already is. If you found value in these Stoic lessons, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue this journey of wisdom and self-mastery together.